All right, you're welcome to your Sexuality with Priye in the Transforming TV. Okay, this is the second episode for today. I am Priye Derefaka Okara, and I have my second guest in the studio with me. Now, this program is actually powered by the Transforming Theater, where we have inspirational movies, motivational movies that will build your mindset, build your imaginations, movies that will enable you discover yourself and how to succeed in your business or anything that you are doing. If you have never been to the cinema before and you are in Bayelsa State here in Nigeria, I'd like you to visit our cinema. It's just simply located at number 15 Nicton Road, Oguan Plaza, Suite 08, Bashayenagua in Bayelsa State. We also have a club called the Builders Mindset Club. We have a club for the children, teaching them how they can understand the Bible. They actually watch a movie that takes them from Genesis to Revelation. And then also we have the business club for people to enhance their businesses. All right, time will not permit me to keep going on and on. If you want to know more about the Transforming Theater, it's a training center. It's a cinema that is into trainings. You can get to us on that page. Do me a favor. Please share this video, because what we're going to be talking about is going to save somebody's life. So share this video and also enter our page, the Transforming TV page, and like that page. Now, sex has a way of building your self-esteem if you're a married person. Now, sex also has a way of destroying your self-esteem if you are not married and also if you are married. Why do I say if you're a married person, it has a way of building your self-esteem? Now, for two married people that understand their sexuality, it builds their self-esteem, it gives them longevity, it makes their marriage sweeter and better. For those who are not married, it makes your life sour, miserable. But in all, the way God designed sex, sex is beautiful. Sex is not a devil's thing. Sex didn't come from Satan. Sex didn't come from any wicked source, but it came from God. So it is beautiful, but within the confinement of marriage. That is the only place where sex is beautiful. So our topic today is actually sex and relationship. A lot of people are asking questions. Is it okay to have sex when you are not yet married? I'm asking you. Do you think it's okay to have sex as a single person? All right, my guest is going to do justice to all of that question. So I'd like to introduce my guest is Pastor Wauton Nikitin, the marriage preservative. Okay, he's the president and the founder of Marriage College International. He's done amazing things. I have invited at different times to speak on his platform. And I know there are lots of testimonies. I've seen people attending that program and in that same program seeing their partner and getting married. So many testimonies to speak about. And I know that program holds once every month, but he will get to tell you more about it. So if you get to know more about this program that he holds every month, please be part of it, especially if you're a single person, but it's both for married and single people. I call him the marriage coach. All right, here's my guest in the house. Pastor Wauton, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening.
You're looking so amazing, looking so wonderful. In fact, they should give you another name. Because every time I see you, you're always, how do I put it? You're always, they'll call it, for women, they'll say, you're on point. Yes, no, that's the right word. You're always on point.
Thank you. I like looking good for my wife.
Amy, if you're watching, your husband said it's for you. That's nice. That's amazing to hear.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome to the show, Your Sexuality. Now, I looked at based on your experiences that you've gotten. I'd like us, first of all, to just do justice to the topic, what is relationship? Because people are misunderstanding this word relationship. What is relationship?
Thank you. It's a good question because your definition of a thing determines how you approach it.
Exactly.
If it's wrongly defined, you approach it wrongly. If it's correctly defined, you approach it correctly. But this relationship, there are various forms of relationships. We have friendship. We have acquaintanceship or an acquaintance. We also have marital relationship, romantic relationship, and engaged relationship. People who are already engaged to be married. So there are different forms. But for today, for the purpose of what we're sharing today, I would like to define relationship as a close friendship between two persons, male, female, with a commitment of getting married in a specific or chosen date.
That's amazing.
Specific or chosen date. So if you are not intended to get married, there is no need for relationship. You could be into friendship and all that, but the context of what we're discussing today, it's a close friendship between two persons who are committed to getting married at a chosen date.
So from your explanation now, are you saying, because you're saying if you're not committed to get married, you should not be in a close relationship?
Seriously.
So are you saying, what about the one that the church is saying you can court the person? You guys can court for like 6 months, 2 years, then you can now make a declaration or make it known to everybody that you want to get married to that person. What happens for purpose of I want to know him, I want to know her?
For courtship is not done where there is not, when an intention and has not been made known. Courtship takes place when there is a proposal. You ask a woman's hand in marriage, and if she accepts, that's the beginning of courtship. People who are going about, I love you, you are my girlfriend, that's no courtship. So for a church to accept that when you are proposed and the woman has accepted, you have a period of maybe 6 months, in which the church also does counseling. That's a period of courtship. So the church can monitor you, coach you on how to enjoy your marriage, and also make the relationship work. So there can be no courtship without a proposal and acceptance.
Okay, I think I understand you now. That means every serious relationship is that somebody has proposed.
Somebody has proposed.
Now that brings me to this question, though I didn't intend to, but from what you are saying, I know it's an issue. What will you say for people who are just friends? They consider themselves that they are in a relationship, but they've been together for like 8 years. There's a case like that. She was with this man. At the time I met her, she said they have lived together for like 15 years, to the point where they had kids. The man had not married her. He had not paid her dowry. Will you call that friendship, or will you call that couples? I don't know. What would you call that?
In fact, I see that as a romantic relationship where people are cohabiting. In fact, they are doing the wrong thing. In most cases, in several places in Bayelsa, people just cohabit, have children together, and for 15, 20 years, they are just staying together without getting married. They are just doing what they feel like doing. It's wrong. It's a romantic relationship without a purpose. It doesn't have a serious purpose. People don't just stay together.
That means
so it's cohabitation. In fact, it's against the Bible. They are committing sin.
And some of them call themselves husband and wife because they have kids.
For my bishop, he calls it borrowed wife and borrowed husband, or credit husband and credit wife. So it's wrong. People don't value such things.
Okay, how about this one where they are not married, they're not living together, they're just in relationship, and they've been together for 8 years. The young man has not proposed to this lady. What will you say to that?
That is wrong. It's very wrong. I don't know. A young man who does that, I don't think he knows where he's going. In fact, a man of God calls it a canopy relationship, where you have not told the lady your intention, but you go about with the lady everywhere, covering the lady from others who are supposed to propose and get married to her. And they think that you are in a serious relationship. That's very wrong. If you're a young man who is doing that, this is for me. Because if you have a daughter who you value, and a young man is going around with her everywhere for 8 years, you can't take it. You must do the right thing. So it's very wrong.
And then for the women, what will you say? She's in a relationship with a young man. She's been with him for, in fact, there was a case. That young lady, from the beginning, she started telling me that story. I started telling her something is wrong somewhere. She's a banker. This is some years back. She's a banker. And then her issue was that she's been dating this guy for 8 years. And for these 8 years, he's a medical doctor. He lives in another state. She stays in another state. So they've been cohabiting. Then I asked her, what is the issue? Why are you guys not married? She said he kept telling her he needs to sort out himself. He needs to put some things in place. I was like, he's working, you're working. And then she realized, then from her story, I realized that she does a lot of stuff for him and his family. Like giving him money, buying some stuff. So his entire family are in love with her. So when she got talking, I said, how do you visit him? Do you call him before you go back? Because she's in another state where she works as a banker. So she goes back to where he stays in his state every weekend. Now, I asked her, every weekend when you go back, do you call him and let him know you are coming back in a certain weekend? She said, yes. I said, now do me a favor. Go this weekend and don't tell him you're coming.
Without letting him know.
Just, and go very late at night. Don't go on Friday, because Friday he might declare himself open, knows that maybe you might come. Go on Saturday and go late in the night, probably around 10. She did like I told her. Do you know when she got there, she met a lady in his house?
Seriously.
And then when she was at the door, when he noticed and it was she, he immediately came out of the house and shut the door behind him. Didn't let her in. And they've been together for 8 years at that point.
8 years.
Then I was like, so what next? She said he was talking with her that she doesn't understand. He needs to explain to her this, that. Then she was like, what are you explaining? Why are you standing? Why are you blocking the door? This was about 10 p.m.
Seriously.
So he said, okay, let them go over to his neighbor's place and then they should talk. So when she was like, I was like, that means the one inside the house is more important than her.
That's true.
For him not to let her in. But at the end of the day, cut long story short, she actually went to the neighbor's house. But she said she stayed there for a while till 11 and she couldn't take it anymore. She had to force her way into his apartment. When she entered, she saw a lady there.
Well, even at that point, he didn't ask that lady to go. That means
yes, he did not.
She's the preferred one.
Yes.
The one that was inside. At a critical point like man is around, I didn't know she was bad. In fact, if a man starts dragging his legs, you should know that something is fishy.
Is wrong. Right.
It's fishy. So ladies who go guys 4 years putting things together, if you are not ready, like a marriage proposal without a date, I always mirage. You are proposing to a lady that you want to get a date
to marry her.
To marry her. It's a mirage. So at the end of it, if you accept, the relationship can continue. They can be doing all the wrong things and it can for years. But if it's defined, if it's at the if she asks, when do you intend to marry? And you want to marry me? If he says it's within 6 months or a year, she knows that that is the time frame. Anything other than that is wrong.
No. Wait, you're saying something here. Are you saying men can actually ask a guy that they are dating? They are in a relationship. 1 year. Are you saying it's proper when the guy has not clear? It's proper for her to ask him, where is the relationship leading us to? Is it okay to do that?
And that's what relationship coaches call.
Okay.
You can't be in a relationship that you don't understand. Okay. Is it leading somewhere? If it's not going somewhere, you know. And you sit this young man down.
It's together until she saw, I told her, Pastor Wauton, I told her, I said, another date. She refused to believe me. She could have found that long time to do something to find out if something is fit. So inside, he had already met her also for quite some time, but she was the older one in the relationship here. Now, what I also noticed is that day actually defined the whole process of the relationship, that somebody else has already taken her place, and it was painful because father, she spent money for them to build a house in his father's community. Please him. Pity for that lady, and she wasn't any younger, close to her 40s when this thing happened.
Seriously, those kind of guys. In fact, what they do is they propose to a lady or even tell her I love you, and do all that with the intention of getting something, rich lady with the intention of getting something from her. At the end, he has his preferred one. For me, in our conferences, I tell young people, whoever this. Any man that comes to ask your hand in marriage, or you are in a relationship with, there are 3 things that you should not give that man. 3 things. First and foremost, don't give him your money.
Okay.
Your money.
Wow,
If he was not, that's a case of using and dumping. He has been using that to fulfill his own desires, his own vision, his own plans, and now he has dumped her or he's not serious with her. First and foremost, don't give any man your money that is not married to you. Number 2, don't give him your heart. Your heart.
How?
The case of heartbreak and all
How would
that.
she be able to do that?
You should not be emotionally involved.
Pastor Wauton, that's difficult.
It's difficult, but you can do it. You should not be emotionally involved. Because there are cases of heartbreaks every year and
you
there.
know what?
It's
If
because
you're
people are
watching this
getting
video and you're a
emotionally
woman,
involved.
if you're watching this video and you're a woman, I will link you up to him. So he tells you the secrets on how not to give a man your heart. Because I'm a woman here, I know what you're saying.
Yes.
It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult. Because it was you give your heart and focus your heart to that takes your life. Takes the find.
Yeah.
Don't give him your body.
Question.
3 things you must not give a man who comes to propose to you and say. In fact, if you are yourself from the marriage process will be speedy. Okay. Because some ladies have given all, so the man is reluctant. And now you are you have a need of a television set, and somebody comes and
give you the television set.
Gives you the television, keeps it in your house, and come everything. You will not pay money for it. You don't go
out to buy another one.
You will not go out to buy another one. That's what themselves, and they come and cry for prayer, and it's as if God is not answering prayer. You must know what you need to do. I agree with you, because when I met my husband several years ago, for 2 years, my husband was following me. Let the world know. Great. For 2 years, my husband was chasing me just to have me without proposal. Now, when he realized it was proposed, we were in the university. I was just a young girl, for goodness sake. I was like, when I told my friends, they're like, secondary school love. He wants to have sex with you. That's why he's proposing. I was like, well, I love him. But I was also scared for him not to just have me and go away. I wanted something serious. That should be the right attitude. Honestly, my husband, that he today realized that this woman is valuable. Unique. I believe that's why he went all out for the marriage. You understand that this woman is preserved. It's not like I didn't love him. I love him so. In fact, the first day I saw him before he proposed, I can't forget, in Uniport. We were having lectures. We all sat down. We were a crowd of people. He was walking to the lecture hall with his goggles, with his, glasses. And I was like, wow, see this tall, dark, handsome guy. Hey, my heart just, and him and all of that. I was like, wow. I just did that wow. Then I was like, wow. Like I could have someone like this. I was with my friend. Then I came and met her. I said, who is this fine babe? Okay. Then I was like, my head was like spinning. But he didn't get me till 2 years. He spent his money. He spent it. Great. Then I appreciated the whole relationship. Now that brings me to this question. A young man said he must test a lady before he gets married to her. And then there's another lady that also said that if the man's thing is working, if his sexual organ is active, what would you say to that? All of these issues are creeping into the body of Christ, where even believers are talking about the test. Some young men, Facebook and all that, since people's pictures that they save, they have a relationship, just a husband who came and you gave him the hard to get, and finally he took it to a higher level of proposal. There are some guys who just date ladies, and at the end of maybe 6 months, 1 year, they break up with them, and that lady's picture is in their archive. They can be opening their album. Oh, Cynthia, oh, she was very nice, but because we didn't get married, we opened to this one, Roseanne. Oh, Roseanne was a nice job girl, but we didn't get married. They have albums showing their friends, and you have included your name there. In fact, don't accept any man that comes to say he wants to sleep with you. Ensure that you zip up. Now, in the aspect of, in fact, I have read through that the first couple that God created, man and woman, Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
it stated in Genesis chapter 2, verse 25, and said, and Adam and the man and his wife, they were naked and were not ashamed. You go to Genesis 4, it said, and Adam knew his wife. You go to Genesis 4:20, that's 4:1, Adam knew his wife. 4:25, Adam knew his wife again. Knew his wife, meaning having sex with his wife. And wife. Within the confines of sex is beautiful.
Yeah.
Within the confines of marriage. And you know, the issue of unwanted pregnancy, unwanted babies, people who are not supposed to be discussing love are discussing love. Before you know, they start sleeping. Somebody at 14 is pregnant. They don't. A young man who cannot even take care of himself has now impregnated a babe, and they have all the problems. So God is against it. In fact, sex is not ordinary.
Why did you say so?
Sex is not ordinary. Like Scripture in 1 Corinthians clearly, that is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Why will you want to take that temple of the Holy Spirit and go and combine or join a harlot?
Yeah.
Meaning that is a spiritual exercise. In fact, you can't have sex with somebody and remain the same. There must be transference of something, either causes. Just thinking of the physical aspect, maybe venereal disease and all that, but there is a transference of covenants.
That transmission, especially in the realms of the spirit.
So saying you want to test before getting married, I've heard of cases who, in fact, there was this program we attended in Port Harcourt. The man of God said a young man who came to him and said, I tested and now I'm married. The thing is no longer working. They don't know what to do because that was his plan. I must test before I marry. He tested and got married, and now the thing is not working. So he's running helter-skelter.
What's not working? His own sexual organ.
He lost his erection.
Wow.
Now he's married. He wanted to test. The lady also, okay, it was the lady who wanted to test. Okay. Now he allowed her, and now they are already married. The thing has stopped working.
Okay.
So people have faced, in fact, people who have done several things are now regretting. We have been ordained by God. And you are not listening to this program by accident.
Yeah.
You are not listening to this program by accident. So know that God ordained sex in the confines of marriage. Adam knew his wife. So it is very wrong to say you want to test.
No, very wrong. What happens to people who are having sexual struggles? They are in a relationship, okay, and then in that relationship, the female, it could be the male, okay, and they are having serious sexual. They fixed a date for their wedding. It's not yet time, probably because they are trying to get financial, you know, and all of that. What would you advise people
maybe
like that?
3 months to the time, or even 6 months to the date of their wedding.
Yeah.
Your mind is the biggest sex organ. The mind is the biggest sex organ. So that's why somebody could be sleeping with a woman and her mind is somewhere else. She will not even have orgasm. So your mind is the biggest sex organ. Now, to control sexual urge is a mind game. It's a mind game. If you can master your mind enough, you overcome it. You overcome it. The Bible has put it this way in James chapter 1, verse and it says, every man is drawn away of his lust before he's enticed. You fall into any temptation, lust, which is the by your own lust, by the things that you're thinking about, by your thoughts, you are drawn away. So the only point is to start that taming from your mind. You know, the Bible also puts it in 1 Corinthians also that casting down imagination and everything above the knowledge of God. So when the thoughts come, you cast them out from that point. When the thoughts come, you know, even as Christians says, the heart of man is desperately wicked. Wicked thoughts can come, but as a Christian, you discard them immediately. If you allow them to dwell, it's said that you can allow a bird fly through your head, but if you allow the bird to perch on, so thoughts can be flying, but you don't allow them to perch on your head.
From what you're saying, there can also be cases where You know, just using the scriptures alone, they have to also practicalize.
Yes,
it. You don't be alone together. You know, all the time in the night, you visit each other, you sleep in each other's apartments. There was a case like that. They are sleeping together. What would you say to that? They're not married.
In fact, I wanted to go there.
Okay.
But let's give a break. In fact, if you have that sexual urge that you feel that is uncontrollable, try and not to find yourself with people, places, and things that want to make you fall. People, places, and things. Meaning, you can't find yourself with a lady who is seductive, so to say, in a secluded place. You are likely to fall. You can't read or watch pornography and think that you can overcome sexual urge.
Yeah.
You stay away from such things and places. So if a place like a club, see women dancing anyhow, the urge can come and you rush back home. Baby Cynthia, where are you? Can we meet? Before you know, you start doing it. So stay away from people, stay away from places, and stay away from things that are tempting, that will make you fall.
Now, in the course of this, I just look at the aspect of male too.
Okay.
Some men who have committed themselves to marriage. Now, there's a case that the young man had found a woman that he wants to marry. He's in love with her, but he doesn't have the money to pay her dowry. They've been together for some time. According to him, he trained her through school. But at the end of the day, she disappointed him and got married to somebody that has more money. What would you advise young men who have seen a wife to be? Is their desire, is their dream woman? But at that point, it looks like it's difficult. Is there a way out to just make this whole process come fast? What would you advise young men who are going through issue, also with urges for sex, and they want to marry, but they don't liquid, the cash, the lajon is not there?
In fact, for able to train a lady through school, university, I think so.
Yeah,
he must be having an income. He must be having a steady income.
What he said was small money. He's a trader.
Okay.
I'm talking about something that happened in this locality.
Okay. Use that money to train a lady through school. That means that money would have been converted money to marry. They don't take money to marry. It's commitment. We have seen cases where people, they just have the date, and before you know, God helps, favor comes, and they are married. As far as you have an accommodation, a steady income, it could be any amount, you are allowed to get married. Now, going back, I want to share my story, a short one.
Okay.
In fact, in 2003, I got born again in February.
Okay.
Church tumbled me and I fell. And I felt very bad. In fact, we're in a relationship for a short period because I wasn't happy. We could have sex, but I wasn't fulfilled, so I was feeling very bad. On the 19th of November that same year, I went to church and my bishop preached a message which was not even related to sex and relationship and all that, but it was titled Restoration.
Okay.
I still remember it vividly. And I wept and cried. And from church, I trekked to my house and made a commitment, made a decision that until I will not sleep with any lady. And for about 9 years, I didn't sleep with any lady. Even the woman I got married to, we didn't sleep before we got married.
Are you serious?
Good,
you didn't
good.
sleep? Didn't have maybe?
There was not even romance at all.
You don't mean it.
Oh,
and
my
they're
God.
doing well. You need to see his wife.
You need to. That's
she's
why
an
knowledge.
Beautiful young lady.
That's why knowledge is important. People who, in fact, I've studied in the Bible and I've discovered that people who get into sexual immorality, sexual sin, are people who don't have knowledge. You go to Proverbs chapter 5, you will see a man barren of understanding. You go to other scriptures like that. Say, listen to my word, that the strange woman will not entice you with the words of her mouth. So it is discovered in scripture that people who are involved in illicit sex, sexual immorality, people who don't have knowledge.
You know, now people are used to this notion that you must have sex before you get married. I'm saying you guys didn't get no sexual intimacy, and I know
in fact we are sexually fulfilled. Wiring down. Good,
I know,
good,
at least I know your wife.
Good.
All right, now concerning your institute, Marriage College International.
Yes.
Okay. I want yes. Are there testimony, you know, what are the times you have this your I know it's once a month, but what are the
Yes.
how
God has been helping us. We have been in the yes, but formally Marriage College International on the 14th on the 14th
okay.
March 2014. So by 14 it was 6 years and
That's awesome.
several testimonies like you shared from the beginning, several marriages. In fact, we have lost count. Over 50 marriages have
Are
taken
you
place.
serious? As a result of that's the people they met themselves.
Some persons met there, some persons who got the knowledge went and ladies who were almost staying with guys, hey, no, we can't stay again. Before you know, the right guy appeared and they are married.
Wow.
Enjoying their marriages. So
That's
it's
amazing.
the thing we do is we give them the knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yes, it's
Knowledge
power.
is power.
Not the knowledge.
Yes.
So
the
what are
right
your
knowledge.
period? What are your
What we
days
do is
programs?
every first Sunday of the month
Okay.
at 3:30 p.m. we meet, and is Davem Children Music School. But when we came and saw you, we are considering using you now. So by our next edition, by our next edition, you will gather here. But just social distancing thing, not more than 10, but we'll do it live streaming, and everybody will key into it and be blessed. So,
Now, do you carry out trainings in this your organization, this your program? Do you guys do training? What are the training process like?
yes, that was for some time now. We have not done it, but there was this
Okay.
how to get married in 12 months.
Okay. Oh,
How
that's
to
amazing.
sexual fulfillment in marriage.
Okay, that's awesome.
How to know the right spouse. Several topics that we have.
Yeah, I
so
remember
if you
I
are
handled
trained,
one of the section. Was it that training? I handled one
yes,
section
that's
like
the certificate course that you took, one of the courses.
Okay.
It was communication that you took, or sexual
Was
fulfillment.
it sexual
Yes,
fulfillment
sexual
was
fulfillment.
what I
Somebody
took.
took communication in marriage, and we have several endowed people, blessed people like this. Even Dr. Table was part of the lecture. Several, my wife was there. I took one of the courses, about 10 courses. So we do certificate programs. So when that is out, we'll let you know and come and benefit. You get married. Getting married
you need
is
to
not.
be part of their programs. We'll let you know when the time comes. But I think they are yet to do internet stuff, maybe online streaming and all of that. Now, quickly, what is your last word? I'm looking at right now. Struggle a sexual life, and the person is tired. Person, the married, talking about a male and a female. I want to be married. I've met lots of males. I've met lots of females. In fact, I'm asking the Lord to help me to help these ones. You know, I meet them by the day. During the course of our radio show, I want to be married. I found a woman. I can't. I've not found a wife. I'm looking. We had a training recently last. Some persons, two of the young men said they want to be married. They have not seen their wife. Okay, what will you camera there and just be a blessing to someone who wants to be married? You know, be a blessing.
I believe that there are people who are telling others that they want to get married, and it's as if they are not serious. People who are serious will always get married. For somebody who is saying, I want to get married, I've not found the person I want. What is your taste? Where are you going? There are some persons who want to get married, and what they are looking at self is bigger than them. What they are looking at is bigger than them. This is how I want my wedding to be, to marry, and you place certain standards that are not even existent. How can you get married? Look for somebody who will understand you and marry them. That I need a graduate, I want
Pastor
this and
Wauton,
I want
I'm
this.
talking
I want
about
somebody
people
who dresses.
who don't have this understanding. There are people who don't have the understanding of how they can look for a wife, or how they can identify their husband. You know, based on your wisdoms. Could you just say something? You understand? How can they know their wife when they see their wife? What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to pray? Are they supposed to, what are they supposed to do?
In fact, I heard a story how that a lady was complaining to her pastor how that she wants to be married, and she has nobody is asking her in marriage, and the pastor said, okay, it's good. You'll be married shortly. Go and join the ushering unit. And she joined. Not too long, one of the associate pastors. This guy, have you been in the church? I've been in the church for a while. What happened?
Wow.
Where have you been? And they got married.
Wow.
She was isolated.
Yeah.
If she was confined to a certain seat or whatever, she wouldn't have met this pastor who was busy working. Yes. But once she identified with a unit and started working, so the best thing to do is to be doing what you are doing. For example, you are in church or you are working. Just be focused on what you are doing. God will provide the atmosphere. God will provide the... People have met their wives and have turned them to girlfriends. People have met their husbands and have discarded them because of certain things that they saw and are not still married. You must be relaxed. Be prayerful. It's good to be prayerful. It's good to be discerning. First and foremost, you meet somebody, you have peace inside. Don't be looking for a vision because the devil can show you a vision. Don't be looking for a voice that you want to hear because the devil can also speak. Don't be looking for dreams and all that. Most importantly, the biggest umpire is the Holy Spirit, which comes with peace. The devil cannot give peace. God is the umpire, the biggest. God is, that's the Holy Spirit is the giver of peace. So when you are relating, that's why you need to start from friendship. Friendship may not last long, but in the church or in the office where you are working or in the church, relate with people. And when you meet such people, you know that that peace will be there. And you make your advances. And before you know, you have found somebody. So most importantly, as a Christian, be prayerful. And the steps of the righteous are ordered by God. And also be discerning. If you meet the right person, you will just know by the peace that you have. And by the things that the person you are doing together, the thing will just be flowing. And you make your choice. That was how I made my choice. I didn't see any vision. I didn't dream anything. There was no...
How did you know? No, now, I have to ask him this question before he goes, okay? How did you, they're telling me to go, but I need to get this. Pastor Wauton,
yes.
How did you know maybe is your wife? How did you know that she's your wife?
Okay, to clear this, there is no specific somebody made for somebody and made for somebody that if you don't marry the person, you have problem. That the person is in China, before you marry, you must meet the person. You make your choice. I met my wife, and being a pastor, she has served my general overseer for years. I know that since she has served the pastor, she will be a good pastor's wife. And I just decided because of the internal peace that I had, and I proposed, and we are now married. Thinking that your husband is in China or is somewhere within the people that you are relating with in church and the Christian folk, just know that your wife and your husband is there.
All right, thank you, Pastor
Yes.
Pastor Wauton, thank you for coming on the show today. God bless you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the wisdoms that you poured out. Honestly, I'm excited.
The Lord is good.
All right, we have actually come to the end of the program today. I need you to understand something. He made some vital points, especially concerning the one that he said the lady made a complaint to her pastor that nobody is proposing to her, and then he told her to come out and serve. Now, one of my advice is that if you're a lady and you're watching this video right now, and you are eager to get married, you are desirous, you are tired, you want to be married, you have to be seen. If you are not seen, how can your husband see you? I'm talking about that lady. I'm talking about you that is always sitting back at home, not going anywhere. Even when you're at home, your hair is unkempt, you are not looking good, you're not looking nice. If people manage to visit you, you talk carelessly. There are so many things that are attached to you not getting married. Your attitude also matters. I met a certain young lady once who was really saying she wants to be married. But when you hear her talk among the folks of men, she talks so carelessly where she insults everybody around her. She practically can walk and slap a man's head behind him and everybody's watching. Your husband could just be recommended to you by somebody else. There's also a certain lady that I know to get married. There's a woman mostly that was her neighbor. And this woman told her brother that was looking for a wife eagerly that there's this young lady that lives close to me. She's amazing, she's wonderful, she can be a good wife. And that was how she brought these two people together. As I speak to you, they are happily married. What is your attitude like? What is your character like when you go outside your home? Or when you are found among people, what are the things you say? Are you careless with your words? Are you looking unkept? You have to put yourself together. You have to know how to comport yourself. Even though you are trusting God to be married, God doesn't say you should be foolish. God didn't say you should not be knowledgeable. In fact, the Bible says, my people are perished because of the lack of knowledge. My people are ignorant because of the lack of knowledge. You need to acquire knowledge. You need to acquire all the skill. And if you are a male, you have what it takes to be married. These days, it's simple. Just ask the Lord to lead you to a woman that can understand you. I have seen recently a wedding where they did a traditional wedding on that same day. They did a white wedding on that same day. Everything was done in one day. There are marriages like that. People are beginning to understand. And the best way to do it, you have to start planning. If you want to get married this year, then this month of April, you have to start saving little money, and then fix your wedding for November or December. Okay, by the time you realize it, you have gathered the money. It's about planning. Once you are able to plan like that and keep your money separate for marriage, you will achieve marriage. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'm asking that you share this video. Please share this video so that more persons can be blessed. And also do us a favor, enter our page, The Transforming TV, and like our TV page, The Transforming TV. Please like that page and also invite more persons. If you have a comment, you have a question, you can make your comment, drop your question there, and we will get back to you. Now, for those of you that want to be part of the vaginal training, please go to The Transforming TV, okay, and then click on the button where they talked about tighten your vagina. Click on the learn more button and enroll for this training. God bless you for watching. I will be back here on Wednesday by 4 p.m. precisely, okay, because of the we're having some coffee here. So by 4 p.m. Wednesday, I'll be here with a builder's mindset. I am Priye Derefaka Okara. God bless you.